Hello everyone, it's Corvette Dan. Welcome back to the channel. Please smash that thumbs up, click the notification bell, because I have a good one for you today. Although we will be using our C7 for this demonstration, this video applies to C8s, C7s, C6s, also applies to Cadillacs, it applies to the higher trim Camaros that I know of, and probably a host of other higher end luxury and performance vehicles. With that, what do all these vehicles have in common? Well, some of them have these ALCANTARA Suede. If you have a car that has this, you know that gets dirty and matted fast, and no one seems to have a solution. Well, I might actually have a solution, so we're going to test it out and we're going to do it together. So stay tuned, and we're about to get started. Alright, let's get right to it. Okay, so I'm going to show you here an example of what I've got. Now, I'm sure you can see that, because even with the bright light of the sun here, I can see it. You see this here? That's bad news, okay? Right? That is not pretty, is it? And you can see more. That looks horrible. I have a friend with the 2020 3LT with the Suede, and he says his Suede was looking like this in places after 3,000 miles. And I just feel for that. I really do. And nobody seems to have a solution. I think I might have found a solution. I bought this because our center console lid started to look a little bit like this. We're going to show that in a second. Okay, I don't know if you can see this or not, because this isn't that bad, but I have some issues going on right here. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to start by doing this surface first. We're going to see how that looks, and then we're going to turn to the door panel, which obviously shows signs of it. So one thing I can't seem to figure out, and I've seen this pretty much in other cars, because I do look, not that I'm trying to nitpick others' cars, but just to see if I was the only one to experience this, is that when you go down to the seats, I never see this on the seats. Does anyone have an answer for that? If you do, please let me know. But let's go ahead and get the materials that we're going to need to try to clean this up. Okay, so what we're going to do is first we're going to gather our necessary supplies. It's pretty simple. I'm going to use a toothbrush, a brand new one of course, soft bristles, right? And actually got this one here. We're also going to use something called Sonax ALCANTARA and upholstery cleaner. I discovered this talking to a gentleman at Carlisle, right? You're going to need some clean water and clean microfiber, right? So from there, let's just get right to it. Okay, folks, here we go. I'm just going to follow the directions on this. I'm going to say you definitely want to wear eye protection and rubber gloves with this. So my rubber gloves that you will be seeing on my hands are invisible. Haha. Anyway, so the first thing it says to do is slightly moisten the area. So I don't know if I'm going to have to wet this cloth more, but I would rather have to do it again than get it too wet. So that's what I'm doing now, as you can see. We have to a little bit more here. There we go, maybe a little more. Okay. It says to shake the bottle well. Apply it evenly and use to rub it in, if you will. That's what the toothbrush is going to be for us here. So honestly, this may take time to dry, and it says repeat until desired results, and the gentleman I spoke to at Carlisle said it took him a few times to get it complete. So what you're probably going to be seeing here from me is clips happening in stages over the course of hours, maybe even days. But you won't notice that. This video will be all nice and complete when we see it here soon. So with that, now it says apply the foam. So I'm just going to do that. Don't know how much I need here, but now the reason why I'm starting with this is because God forbid I ruin it. I have that nice new one on there now, so it's not like I'm going without one. So originally I was thinking about testing on this, but that grab handle is so bad on the inner portion there, I don't think it could look any worse. So I may just at least start there and do a little bit for you now. So you can see I'm not pressing too hard. Alright. What else did the lovely directions say? Okay. Let sit for 5 to 10 minutes. Wipe off all released dirt with a clean and moist microfiber. Rinse cloth with clean water in between. Repeat until there is no dirt visible in the cloth. Repeat application in case of especially stubborn soiling, which is what I've seen, at least from the grab handle. With that, I'm going to go to the grab handle now. Okay, now we're over at the interior door grab handle. We're going to do the same thing. Going to get it a little moist. Okay. I'm just going to start there, to tell you the truth. Now, spray this Sonax on. I don't know how much I'm going to need here, so I'm going to maybe just... This was quite soiled, so... Okay. Get our toothbrush out. I'm not pressing too hard, folks. Okay. Okay, before we get started, one of the things I should have done and I didn't till it was too late is afterwards I went and rinsed out the toothbrush because I noticed it was dirty. And that was a brand new toothbrush, but I should have shown you that there was actually dirt on that toothbrush that came right out of this console lid and or door panel. So with that, we're just going to proceed. It says to wipe off the dirt. Wipe off released dirt with a clean and moist microfiber cloth. Rinse cloth with clear water in between after waiting 5 or 10 minutes, which we have. So let's go ahead and do that now. Look at that. Swear to you, that was clean. Okay, I'm going to rinse off the rag, get a clean portion of the rag, and wipe it again. Okay, look right here. See how that's clean? Let's wipe it again, see if we can get any more dirt out of it. Aha. Okay, so we wiped that with a clean, moist microfiber twice for the lid, and we're just going to let it dry now and see what it comes out if we have to redo it again. And we'll show that when it does dry. But here is the clean, moist microfiber. Now we're going to wipe off this here. Now obviously you see that there's more to be had in terms of cleaning, but we're starting with the small portion first. We want to see how this works, but I'm going to show you that, and I may not, go through all these steps to clean the rest of it, but we'll kind of show before and after, especially if this works. If it doesn't, we're also going to give you very scathing reviews of the product, but I talked to someone that did it and I saw his results and it looked pretty darn good. So let's go ahead. Look at that. And a clean portion. Let's do it again. And then again, after 2 passes, I'm going to stop because we may be redoing this again. The directions say you may have to do it several times. I'd hate to overdo it and ruin it even further. So I'm just being cautious at this point. But we're going to show this whole video. We'll kind of, wrap that up, and we'll show before the after the other surfaces because I honestly believe this is going to work. So let's go ahead. Yikes. Hope you can see that. Maybe just wow. And this bucket once had clean water. I've just been rinsing out that rag in this, and you can see how dirty it is just from those little spots. So I do have a feeling this is going to work. We're just going to have to let it dry and show you, and then continue on until we get the rest of it all cleaned up. Okay, one of the things I noticed as I was working on the second application is that you could see a fine line of where I treated versus where I didn't. With that, I also noticed there was some more staining that I could hardly see the first time. So what I did is I reapplied some here, and what I'm doing now, I wiped it down, but I'm feathering the edges to try to blend it in, if you will. Kind of like I'm doing this, because I'm trying to eliminate that line that I thought I saw. To me, another possibility is, and we're going to find this out together here. See what I'm doing? I'm just kind of trying to feather the areas I touched into the areas I haven't touched with this moist microfiber, right? So you can see that. Another thing I'm thinking too, right, is that let's say you had this lid like I do, and you had a spot yo big that you wanted to clean. I might even recommend, we're going to find this out together as we finish this video, is to just do the whole single area. And maybe not where you treated it, but kind of where you actually brush it down and moisten it to keep a blend, if you will. Like if you ever painted They call it blending, where you blend in the surface from where you painted to where you didn't so that it matches. We're going to find that out together, but as you can see, I'm trying to blend this out here so that I don't see that line. We're going to let this dry again, and we're going to show you. I'm pretty much with the grab handle on the convertible. It was the same thing, but we won't show that right now. We're going to show that again because we already applied the second application. We'll see what it looks like because I may decide to do the rest of it because it did look like it needed it anyway. So stay tuned because we're going to find out how this is turning out. But so far, so good, I'm going to say. This was nowhere near as dirty when I was rinsing out the rag again. So hang in there. Okay, here's the center console lid after cleaning it twice, and I can say I'm pretty impressed. Doesn't seem to have any more staining anymore. It's looking like this video is making it look that way, but it is not. It's just kind of the way it, you know what I mean. Anyway, I am going to move to the door panel, and we're gonna go further and clean that. I also want to mention too that for some reason, when I first bought the car, I was mispronouncing ALCANTARA, and I seem to have a bad habit, and I can't kick it. It is ALCANTARA Suede. Anyway. Okay, so now we're going to the door panel here. As you can see, I have some improvement, although we're going to have to do this piece again, and we're going to do the rest of this. Something that is noted on the instructions of the Sonax, it says do a complete panel so that it's uniform, and that's something that I did mention earlier that I think that's the best bet, but the directions also say that too. So we're going to go ahead with the same methods that you saw, and we're going to clean this and we're going to see what it looks like. So stay tuned for that. This is the before. In case I didn't mention it before, something else you want to do too is you want to try to brush out any loose dirt before you go ahead and apply. You can see obviously where we have some issues here, okay? So again, we're just going to moisten this with a microfiber. Then we're going to take our Sonax and do this. We'll let it sit for 5 to 10 minutes. We'll wipe it down, we'll let it dry, and then we're going to show you what it looks like. But right now, that's what we see. So stay tuned for the after. Now that the surface is moist with clean water, we're going to brush in the Sonax and let it sit for 5 to 10 minutes. Okay, now that the Sonax is set between 5 and 10 minutes, we're going to take a clean, moist microfiber and wipe out the dirt. And I won't show too much of this because you've obviously seen me do this earlier in the video here, but what I want to try to do is see if I pull any dirt out of it and let you see the water. So there's the water. I'm going to continue to wipe this out. We'll see if that water gets dirty like it did last time I failed to show it. So now we're going to let it dry and see how it looks. And there's our water. As you can see, we got a lot of dirt out. So we're going to see how this looks after it dries. So stay tuned. Okay, you and I are going to see the door panel armrest for the first time together after the the first application on the whole top of the armrest. Let's see what it looks like. Let's get a better light in there for us. Oh, wow. Honestly, I'm impressed. Check that out. Wow. Even the grab handle is looking beautiful. With this, folks, I might do a little more touch-up, but this video was to teach us how to do this and to tell you what I think of it. So, honestly, Sonax, I'm going to rate a B+. So basically, what you're going to do, in a nutshell, is with your ALCANTARA Suede, you'll moisten the Suede, you'll apply the Sonax, you'll brush it in with a very soft brush between 5 and 10 minutes, making sure you brush out any loose dirt and contaminants before you start anything. After you let it sit 5 or 10 minutes, then you wipe it down with a wet microfiber and repeat as necessary. Please smash that thumbs up, click the notification bell. This is Corvette Dan. Until the next one, thank you.